Hey guys, Elson here, your online presence strategist and graphic designer. This is the Elson Bros podcast, episode 5. Okay, so episode 5, and it's how to be creative with your business online. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring Dan in, Dan Elson. I'm going to invite him to come in. We're the Elson Bros. Just 2 seconds, because I don't think you've heard any of that because I've got my earphones plugged in. So give me a second. We'll start the intro again. 2 seconds. Sorry about that, guys. Hopefully you can hear me now, and we'll start the intro again. Hi, Dan. Can you hear me all right?
Yo!
Yo, how's it going?
Yeah. All good. All good.
So I think I just did an intro, but I didn't have my earphones in, so I don't think anyone heard me. So I'm going to do it again. So thanks guys for popping in and joining. Hope you're all well. I'm slightly not well because I've got a pot. I've got a pot on my arm. So I chose green. Didn't realise that you can choose your colour, plaster colour. Did you know that, Dan? You can choose your plaster colour when you break your arm. Yeah, so I went for green. So let's get into this. This is the Elson Bros podcast, episode 5. All right, guys. And my name's Damion Elson. You're an online presence strategist and graphic designer. And the title of this podcast is How to Be Creative with Your Business Online. So, hey, how's it going, Fran? Hope you're well. Yeah, how come I've got a plaster on, Fran? Well, let's get Dan to introduce himself first, and we'll answer questions shortly. Go for it, Dan.
Cool. So I'm Dan, Damien's bro. Currently based in Sydney, Australia. So for me, it's 7 a.m. It's looking like a good day. For my side, so I'm a digital marketer and world traveller. So I've got over 7-8 years now working in digital marketing agencies. Run my own website, which is iamdanelson.com. And yeah, I'm just really passionate about helping small businesses and giving out value there of things that I've learned and my experiences. And yeah, really interested about sharing some value today in unbelievably episode 5.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
So yeah, awesome. Thanks for the intro, Dan. Sounds good. So yeah, basically I'm here just to, if you've got any questions about being creative with your business online, just throw them below. It looks like we're getting some questions in already. So we'll do our best to answer all your questions in this live. If we don't get through them, then we will answer them after live, and obviously the replay goes straight up there, and we do repurpose all our episodes on YouTube on both of those channels.
Yep.
So what I was going to say is that I'm going to start off by sharing a few things of how you can be creative with your business. So I've got a few things jotted down on my text edit on my Mac, and I've just jotted a few things down. So based on especially based on your Facebook page, basically, I don't know whether many people know this, but by just posting, uploading a video or photograph, you can actually do much more than that, which is you can create a photo album, you can create a photo carousel, you can create a slideshow, and even you can create a canvas through your Facebook page. So if you didn't know that already, then those are really good tools that you can be a bit extra creative than just putting a normal post up there, normal visual, rather than just a video or something like that. So it's worth testing those out and see what interaction you get more from your audience with them. So that's based on your Facebook page. So I don't know if you, I know you knew of that, Dan, but I don't know whether you've ever tested that out, whether you get more interaction by creating, different content, you see, for your page. That's kind of where I'm going with that, instead of just having a normal graphic, So
Yeah, absolutely. I think just kind of stepping back, I suppose you probably did an intro to this episode, but I suppose it's kind of just highlighting the fact that like anything in life, I believe you can be extremely creative with with your decision making, with your approach to business. And I think being online, that element of being creative, is so powerful, and to try and jump ahead of the crowd and the competitors, and kind of really make it your own.
Yeah.
We're all about kind of putting yourself out there, and I think it's about putting yourself there in different creative ways, and like you say, it's all about using the tools and the tools at hand, whether it be Facebook or Instagram or Twitter. Jump on these different tools, jump on these different ads formats, try them out, test them. That's what it's all about in digital marketing. It's an online market. It's all about testing and keep improving and keep getting better. And I suppose, being creative, coming from your side of things, Damion, in terms of kind of the creative background, the graphic designer background, that kind of thing, where so my background's more kind of process driven, client servicing, digital marketing. So it's always I always find it interesting to kind of get your kind of mindset, because it's slightly different to mine, which is the reason why I think kind of make a good team, the Elson Bros. But I think just looking at it from a different perspective, and kind of understanding if you are new to the online world, what do you need to do? There's so many different options, but I suppose it's all about kind of finding your rhythm, finding something different and unique. And like you say, going through Facebook, I think continue with what you're saying in terms of the different options and different things that you can do, instead of just posting a status or just posting an image. What else can you do around that?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so back to I guess Facebook pages, create an actual slideshow of even if you've got products or even services, you can actually add graphics going along. It's almost like it creates a video for you, but it's super simple to do, and you just add in. I'd advise really 3, 5, 7. Quite big numbers of graphics of what you're offering, and not necessarily like call to actions, but it's almost like if you've got products, then show the products off. So 4 to 5 products you're showing off, and then maybe at the end of that you can have a call to action of what people need to do. And then Facebook make it really simple to create then that slideshow. And you can set up the seconds. How many seconds each one slides through. And also they have a bit of a fun element to it as well. They can add a bit of music to them as well. So it's quite unique, really. And because it's a video, it's going to get more reach, because that's what Facebook are all about at the minute. They're giving you that a lot of power over video. So which is really cool. So that's one element to a slideshow. And then you've got,
I suppose, just to jump in there, I suppose on the slideshow, it's almost giving you the option to be a bit more creative in terms of like storytelling. I guess it's allowing you to do the like the frame 1, as it were, frame 1, frame 2, frame 3, and so on. I think it's giving that option to tell story and push it out rather than just one image. Or especially now we know that on Facebook, especially on organic reach, it's very limited. I suppose having the option to tell a story through just one post is probably better than trying to do it over a couple, which people might miss the story.
Yeah, so how I look at it is basically as a comic strip. So as you read comics, or when you was young as a comic, when you were reading your comics like the Beano, me and Dan love the Beano, you read each bit, and you can almost, so obviously my brand, Sweety Guy, which is my second business, you can almost tell a really cool story. And I kind of not recommend. I always mention the fact of Mr. Men stories. And you got a little bit of text on the left hand side, and then on the right hand side you've got your picture. So if you kind of look at that scenario when you're creating this kind of content through Facebook, people want to read that kind of story, and you're leading them to that pathway. Of wow, this is a bit of a fun element to what this company is about, or this business. And that's, you're being really super creative, and that's how much I'm quite passionate about creating that kind of storyline for businesses. instead of just putting a picture up there and hoping that that's the best, that you've got to offer you. So there's so much you can create. And then based on,
I suppose you're doing it in a way that instead of just try to force your product or sell your product, you're being very social about it. Just the equivalent of if you were like sat in a pub or a restaurant or a cafe and you met somebody's friend, you wouldn't just go buy this product. You do it in a way that the story. You do it in a way that is more, in essence, more creative to sell something. And to position it in a story manner. And I think, just things like that, again, just shows you how you can be creative. If you just put a bit of thought behind your post, not just like, let's just push something out and hope what's going on. Actually, let's think about it. Let's do a little bit of a storyboard. Let's look at it like frame 1, frame 2, see how we can tell a story of a couple of images. It's definitely something that I've started doing on Instagram. It's on my Instagram. I am Dan Elson. I especially do when I visit places in Sydney for like food. So I always make sure, number one, to tag myself in the place where I've been. Kind of say, thanks and it's awesome food, or not. The case is not been yet, but I think just having that kind of the slideshow on Instagram, which is the same feature. On Instagram. But I think it's telling that story of I went in the restaurant, I ordered, there's the menu, then I got my starter, then I got my main course. I think just having that story, again, I'm not trying to sell anything, but the story is a story, not just an image of food. Everybody does that, but if you just think about it and tell a story, that's just something slightly different.
Yeah, definitely, and so based on creative, I mean, the first kind of tip I ever, that I always say is get your pen and paper out, that this is where you want to jot it down. You want to jot all your ideas down on here, and then you get your best concepts on there and then produce them online, on the web, if you like, and I highly recommend there's a software called Canva.com. Now, I highly recommend this just for if you wanted to start your own graphics off, that's simple graphics that and obviously they make it really quick and easy. I wouldn't say easy because it's quite difficult for some people to grasp, especially if you're not a creative, but it's simple, I guess. You have a simple approach to it. So you can get great ideas from, jotting them down and then maybe putting them on there, but you're almost that's a quick and simple way to do things for your graphics to get used to, being creative if you're not for your business. But then if you wanted to, even more so, wanting to create your own brand and logo, then I kind of recommend obviously using the designer for that, because they've got the experience of creating the brand based on color. For one, because a lot of people might be creative and they might get Canva and they might create all these wonderful graphics, but then no one gets who they are still because they're not getting the brand across, right? So you've got to got to think about how important your brand is, whether it's a personal brand or it's actually your business. It's so important to get that right across the message across to your audience. And just to mention, sorry, do you want to ask? Sorry, Dan, go
on. So I think it's going back to the brand identity. So you're right, Canva, websites like that, even for people like me and not that creative, they're great. I use Evernote to screen grab when I see awesome things on Facebook, just so that I can remember it and kind of take inspiration. But I think, I think when it's kind of graphics for your blog, for example, my blog, I create graphics for each blog post in Canva. Like you say, it's kind of a quick way to get rolling. It's a quick way to get your image. That's all well, but to do something very simple. But I think, going back to your point, I think brand identity, especially if you're a new company or if you want to rebrand, or if you really want to really put effort and investment into something like this, an online business, then your brand identity and choosing something like that is so vital, because you need to get it right. You need to understand kind of what you know, what your logo looks like, what your brand name looks like, the text used, the font used, you know, your header for Facebook groups or your header for Facebook fan page.
Yeah.
You know, all these are kind of really important to get right.
Yeah.
You know, and I think, like say, you know, using a designer, using somebody with that creative background and the passion behind it is
Yeah.
really important,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
to get your idea. And we all know you can go on Fiverr and get a $5 logo, but
Yeah.
guess what? You know, we've all seen the case studies where, you know, you get your 5 to choose from, and they all look exactly the same. They're all a rip-off from Pizza Hut's logo. So it's kind of like you get what you pay for,
Yeah.
and the fact that this is something that's going to be with you for a number of years, a very big period of time, you want to get it right.
You've
And
got
I
to get it
think
right.
that's
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
you know you are getting at, and yeah, you know, that's what you need to be really, you know, kind of clear on, you know, a clear definition of, you know, creating graphics for your website or a blog post, that kind of thing. And that's probably fine. It's a really good way to do it. And, you know, if you need some help on there, then I'm sure Damion can help you. But it's kind of like, you know, get your priorities right. You know, if it's your brand identity, you've got to get that right.
Yeah.
And day one, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. And then going back to getting your brand right, when you've got your brand sorted and you've got your logo, then you put that everywhere. So every graphic you're creating, every video you're creating, you have to have it on what you're creating. And then basically then people keep recognizing the same brand over and over again. And so when
Brand recall,
so when people think about you know, certain content they've read or they've seen what you've created based on, you know, being creative, the graphic or the content, you know, they're going to see your brand for that, and it's just going to sink in. They might not realize that it's sunk in that far, but then they're just going to go, oh yeah, it was so and so, you know, they did, you know, they offered sewing, you know, for a workshop, or you know, they offered this certain product that was really amazing, you know, that kind of thing. What I wanted to stress, and it's really important, this is if you are getting a brand created or a logo for your business, you really need it as a vector graphic. So I don't know if you know about that, Dan, but a vector graphic is actually a graphic which is actually a shape, rather than just and it has to be shaped form, vectorized, your logo. So then that logo can be printed on any material, you know, any size of marketing material, whether you're doing it for printed or you're doing it for web. So then it's always exactly the same, if you know what I mean, as in density and resolution than anything. Especially when you're getting it done for print on business cards, or getting it printed on posters, or printed on even big ad campaigns outside. If you wanted to blow up your logo and it's being created as an not an EPS, sorry, as it being created in a Photoshop, and it's just, the pixelation's just awful. You've probably seen them before where they've been blurred or pixelated out. Well, basically, they're not vectorized. They're not a vector graphic. So you need your logo as a vector, which is really important, because people then start getting things printed, and yeah, they might have gone to Fiverr and they've got this cheap logo done and gone, oh great, it looks awesome online, but then they get it to print and they haven't even got it CMYK'd, which is even totally different kettle of fish, because it's the printed separations of colours as well. So you've got to get the colours right as well, whether you want it to look online or for print, because that's so important for your brand. So I just stress that being vectorized. So well, I'm going to answer Esther's question now. Do you make it vectorized? Well, a really simple answer is that you've really got to speak to a graphic designer. I mean, I obviously can help with that, because it's got to be, obviously it depends what your logo looks like, but you've got to get your logo. If you've already got a logo and you need it vectorized, then obviously just ask a designer if you've already got a designer, or you can simply message me and I'll take a look at your logo, and fingers crossed it can be vectorized, because some logos are crazy and have got so much detail going on, you might not be able to vectorize them. But a lot, I mean, I'd say 80 to 90% of the time, you know, logos can be vectorized, so it's not an issue. So yeah, it's just, I didn't know whether you knew about vectors or not, Dan.
No, I think that's probably for everybody watching it and everybody who watches on the YouTube replays. I think that's vital information that, you know, I didn't know
Yeah.
You know, I know a number of clients that I've worked with always ask for stuff in JPEGs. And you know, I don't really know enough about it to really question that, but that's really vital information because I've never really thought about that. And like you say, sometimes when you do go get stuff printed, they're kind of like, yeah, you know, people don't really think about the layers and all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know, you know, and that's the reason why you sometimes do need to go down the, you know, the coaching route, or you need to go down the training route because you can't possibly know everything. So sometimes, you know, if you're interested in it, then you got to ask, you got to learn. You know, that's what we all want to do, I suppose, is learn. That's why we're all here looking at this. So I think, yeah, just stuff like that is just vital. You know, make sure that you've got the fundamentals covered. I suppose what's really good, I suppose, is especially if you've got an online business, you know, I don't know if you can go through kind of a checklist in terms of what you really need to start out, you know, for your brand identity. Is it a logo? Is it your header for your website? Does your header for your website need to match your Facebook one? Does it need to match your YouTube one? You know, you're using all these different social channels. You know, you want your brand recall. You want to think of McDonald's or of Coca-Cola. You know, all the marketing they do is brand related. So all they're doing is pushing their brand out there. So if that's the case, you know, you have to get the fundamentals right. You know, does it have to be the same across all the social channels? You know, that kind of thing.
Yeah, well, jump in there, Jam, because I'm basically now going to mention fonts. Now, I didn't have this down on my notes, but fonts are super important because your font, you've got to get that right as well. And you've got to make sure that you know what font you're going to be using for your brand, for your logo, and in what size as well. You know, that's quite important across your website and across, obviously, your business cards or stationery or anything that you're going to get creative with. And fonts are really important. And another issue with which I find sometimes with designers that they might create a logo for a client, but then they've not either included the font or they've again not vectorized their logo. So basically, it's missing a font. So the font is a really big deal for your brand guidelines, really. So make sure you know you choose a good font. And make sure that obviously then you're briefing whoever's to use your font, you know, what font you've got really. That's quite important based on your logo. If you're going to use a font, of course. If it's just going to be a symbol, then it's a different again. But so that's another tip. So I'm just having a quick look through my my references here. So I've got a few website references. I mentioned Canva.com. What I would say is that if you are looking for some, you know, photographs and stuff like that, and obviously you haven't got any for your product, well, not for your products necessarily, but for maybe for, you know, maybe you're just a startup and you're not got much photography for your business and stuff like that. So there's a few different websites that you can get free photography on there as well. So there's like pixabay.com. And I know Dan just mentioned this the other day to me, it's pexels.com as well. So if anyone could just type them in, that'd be awesome, you know, in the comments. And so there's Pixabay, Pixa bay.com, and Pexels, Pexels.com. So if you can type them for us, it'd be awesome, because those are quite good for free photography. If you need that for your you know, simple graphics, really. So I don't know if you've used them, Dan.
Because that's really...
Yeah.
No, like you say, I noticed that one the other day, and I suppose it's kind of highlighting the point that when you're using graphics on social media and your website, always make sure that you can actually use them. So these websites are really good because they're free stock images. So if you need just a stock image, or if you want to edit an image and use it through social media, or a new website, then you make sure you've got to use a stock image. Otherwise, you can be limited, you know, limited towards like copyright type issues.
Yeah.
So, you know, I suppose it's very unlikely if you're only starting out and you've only got a small following. However, you know, you don't want to be breaking copyright laws. So, you know, these websites are really key. That you can go on and you find these images and stock images and then use them within your campaigns online.
Yeah, I mean, what I would say is that, I mean, I'd almost use them as a secondary reference. If possible, for your first choice, get some pictures for yourself. Yeah, get them for your brand, get them for yourself. And don't worry too much if you think, oh no, they don't look professional and stuff like that. End of the day, I think you have to start somewhere. Years back, when I first started my website, I jotted it down, and I before it went live, I had different concepts going on, and then I'd go to sleep, and I'd sleep on it, wake up in the morning, and go, I don't like that, and so I'd never get anything live. So I ended up just deciding, right, one day, just make it live, because at the end of the day, it's never going to be perfect for yourself, but it's probably going to be perfect for people that follow you in your tribe or your community. They're going to like how you are, how you present yourself to them. So, don't worry too much that it's never perfect, because it's never going to be, and that's it. It's always a work in progress. So, you could start your logo by, having a simple logo, a simple brand, simple graphic, but then you might create something the next day and the next day. So it's always that path and that journey that people will follow anyway. So
just obviously, like I always see on Facebook groups, especially on travel bloggers related ones, where people want to get out there, they want to start their own website, they want to push out kind of the thoughts and inspiration of what's happening and all this kind of stuff. And that's great. But you always see people like, oh, I'm struggling on my name, I'm struggling on my logo, I'm struggling on my domain name. And you're like, just do something.
Just do it.
You've got to do something. And guess what? It's all in your head, right? Because you put it out there, right? And nobody else knows you've been considering this logo, this name over this name. Nobody else sees that. So everybody else sees the final product. So just like in the media, where people don't see that somebody's been training for 6 months in the gym, but now all of a sudden they look really good and they're in shape. Everybody focuses on the end goal. So don't ever get scared or afraid of what you put out there. You need to put something out there, and you can always improve it and make it better. But just get something out there. Just don't worry about the fact that you get out there and you might be like, people might not be sure about my name and stuff like this. Just do it. You can always change it. That's the thing with online marketing. You ain't got a big billboard you've paid millions of dollars out for, pounds. You've got something online. You can keep changing and keep improving, keep it
adapting.
I just recently changed my website, and mine's been up for years. So I think that's I always find, like I say, my background's different to yours, Damion. I always find not frustration, but a challenge to work with creative people, because they're always in that mindset of it has to be perfect, it has to be 100%. Otherwise, I don't want everybody to see it. I don't want it to go online. But you sometimes, my difficulty is, and the challenge is, just say, let's just do it. Let's just find out. And you put it on, and it gets loads of, engagement. It gets loads of likes, or it really helps you put your name out there and inspire other people. And it's kind of like, no, there wasn't anything wrong with it. And I think that's the challenge sometimes, where people do want perfection. But guess what? It's never gonna get to perfection. No. So what you can do is you can push something out there and then get better and better and better. I always say, if you get better by 1% every day, then by the end of the week you're 7% better than you were last month. By the end of the month, you're 30% better than you were last month. So you've got to always look at, just get it out there. You can always improve it. You can always relook at it. I used to do little images for my blog on Canva, and one day, going back to your point earlier about getting your brand identity on everything you do, one day I was like, oh, wait a minute, why are I including my website on my graphic? That's what I should be doing. People search it in Google, you find it in Google through alt tags, and people see it on other websites when I guest blog, and people see it across social media, brand recall. It's the fact that I've created something, I've put some effort into it, I've put some value into it. And I think, just having that, sometimes having just a checklist. I'm all about checklists. My friend mentioned a book yesterday. I can't remember the top of my head, but I will read it after him. But it's from a doctor in the USA, and it's about a book about getting kind of things done through checklists. And I find this fascinating, because like everybody, like we can't all concentrate on something all the time, 100%. And I think just even going through the same things, I've done the same things for 7 years. Yet, it's not just me, it's everybody always forgets. You forget one thing, two things, whatever it is, every time you're like, oh God, I forgot that. Guess what? Take that, get that out of the way, get a checklist. So I'm all for checklists before I set campaigns live, before I even speak to a client, before I start a project plan, whatever it is, I have a checklist for every time, because guess what? It's the same checklist 9 times out of 10.
Again, pen and
absolutely.
paper.
If you could take anything from creative people, it's don't ever be afraid to use a pen and paper. Computers are great. Sometimes you just need to jot it down, and I definitely do that. Like my ID's down, my title's down for blog posts, my description underneath, and I change it and go, and I might have to do it 3 or 4 times, but then before I start on the computer, I'm ready for it. I think the kind of point I'm getting to is just the fact that, sometimes, checklists, doing stuff on pad and paper, it's amazing kind of writing stuff out versus typing. I don't know if that applies to anybody else, but for my brain, it's just amazingly different.
It's still.
So I think, having checklists, especially when you're doing graphics and stuff, make sure, you've got your logo on there. Make sure you've got your brand identity. Make sure that, you're using the right font, same font, or the right font that you can read it on the background, all this kind of stuff. And I think just having a checklist, and every time you go, right, done that. It might sound childish. It might sound, just ridiculous to do it. But guess what? 9 times out of 10, you go, oh yeah, I forgot about doing that one. I forgot about publishing it to Instagram, for example. When you're doing your social media, so I think that's kind of the things that you need to look at.
So I'll tell you what I've got. I've got about 3 pads going on, 3 different size pads. So they've all got different notes in them all the time. But then from that creative, from that mindset, I've got that process going on, and then go to evernote.com, which I've mentioned loads of times before, and I think I've got Dan into it more. And it's just like the Evernote is your notes again. And you can create notes based on maybe your clients, based on things that you want to share with. So we share Evernotes with each other now. You can add graphics into your notes, so there's so much elements to that creative side that I produce. And then the process again from evernote.com. There's also, then I go into Google Calendar as well, which is scheduling stuff all the time. And I'm constantly looking at the calendar, and I'm trying to learn my best how to use my time the best, and just I'm learning quite a bit off Dan, actually, because he's quite good at, you're really good at, getting your schedule together, and like you say, your checklists and stuff like that. So I need to get even more on that, because obviously I'm a creative, so I need to get more on that. So I'm just telling everybody, so thanks so much for you all sharing it. It's really appreciated. Thanks for everybody coming in. Thanks so much for joining, listening to us. Go on.
Yeah, sorry, Damion. Yeah, go on.
So I had 2 more references that I really wanted to get out there, which are just app references for your phone, and these are really good. So one's called Animoto, so it's ANIMOTO, and this is a cool video creation for your content. So you can add, so it creates a video based on your product or your content that you can add into it. So you can create a small video, and it just adds other elements around your content, and then you can add a bit of music to it and stuff like that. And that's a free app, and it doesn't actually. Wow. I think you have an option to take off Animoto as well, so you don't have to have Animoto on your video. But so there's certain apps out there that you can be more creative with, and then there's another one called Typorama. So this is Typorama. Yeah, that's right, Esther. It's Animoto. So Typorama is a cool app as well for creating type and quotes. So if you're thinking of, you see a lot of motivational quotes out there, create your own, based in what you do and in the industry. And the amount of interaction you get from actually creating your own quotes is amazing, online. So this Typorama, what I would say is a free app, and they do add Typorama in your creative that you use on there. But you can actually, I have an iPhone, you can actually edit that graphic then and take that off. So that's what I do, I switch it. So I've been testing these apps. So I've not been using them a huge amount. I just know that because I'm a practitioner, what I do, that's, these are the just tips and apps that I can refer to people because they're really cool. Yeah, that's right, Estates Taporama, yeah. So I don't know if you've got any apps that you use, Dan, or anything like that that maybe we could add to Creative, but maybe not. But use just a few there that I've used in the past, and obviously referenced the websites earlier as well. So
No, that's excellent. Like that's two apps I didn't know about,
yeah,
and that's what it's all about: learning and sharing and finding stuff out and testing and seeing if it works for you and your audience, see if it's something. Because end of the day, the reason why I love online marketing is because guess what? It's not opinion based.
no,
And that's why I like the most. That's always the challenge with creators as well. Again, is opinion, and I always say, look, well, let's create two. Create one like this, create one like this, and let's test it. See what people relate to, see how people engage with it, and see what you get after it. So I'm all about split testing. I'm always about look at different ways to approach stuff. And guess what? As much as I'd like to be quote unquote expert in it and kind of say, well, that doesn't look right or whatever. Yeah, I can have that. But guess what? Until I test something, until I see actual data come off it, then I'm always like, you know what? Let's just have a look at it. And when I see people start out with websites, and when I see people starting out with newsletters and not actually testing different stuff and not testing, especially different graphics through Facebook and Instagram because they work totally different. When I see people not testing it and learning, and I'm like, what are you doing? Like, that's your point. And that's what I like to do. And I love to see kind of what outcomes happen. Because sometimes, honestly, the amount of times I've seen going, oh, a button should be that color, or it should be there on your screen, or whatever. And you change it, you put it somewhere else. And then bingo, you get more sales, or bingo, you get more people contacting. You're like,
it's weird how that works.
Great, but the thing is, people react differently. So you have to test stuff, and pardon me, you have to test stuff and see what happens and see what comes out at the end.
Yeah.
And again, it's just about them making and then 1% increases every time. But yeah, them apps fantastic. I'm going to go away tonight and have a little play with them. And I think just having that information and sharing it out is the reason why these podcasts are so fantastic. And, it helps me as well as it helps you, and hopefully it helps everybody who's watching. Who watches on the replay on YouTube as well. And yeah, I think having your creative background, I think that makes us so strong. Me coming from the process side of things and how to, kind of push out campaigns, but having your element to it, and especially, kind of doing stuff like this, I think it's so vital. Having somebody with that creative mindset who can think of something just a bit different, who can think of the next step, who can think of a different way to show something. And like you say, especially with video, Facebook absolutely pushing it like hell.
Yeah.
So, having the ability to think, right, what will go in a video, it's not just so simple as just shooting something, because, is that enough? Is it going to resonate with your audience? Sometimes you have to plan it out. You have to go, right, well, we need a first frame where it's my brand, first 5 seconds. I need a call to action at the end. Again, going back to a checklist of just having things that you need to focus on and make sure that you've included it. And just having a creative person to think of that and brainstorm and understand kind of what you need to do.
Definitely. I mean,
online marketing.
I've had clients, right, that have actually asked the question, yeah, but what do I video? What can I create? Yeah. And it's just and it's almost like, all right, okay, so you can do X, Y, and Z. And it's just like a shop had asked that question. It's just like, well, just take a video of your products. I've probably said this before in a podcast, but it's just a case of looking at what you've got and just be creative with what you've got. We've got this technology, this phone in this pocket or in your handbag, or you've got it there all the time. Use it more. Use it for what it's got on there, not just for calling or just for texting or whatever, but look at actually look for exactly what it could offer you, rather than just paying you know, just for you to scroll through Facebook. It's so much more than that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And creating the video, I mean, you can go raw and create raw video based on what you're doing right now in a shop. And I've told people that before, and they've done that, and they've gone live. And from that, they've got customers, you know, that have commented and said, right, I'll be in tomorrow, or I'll be in at lunchtime to buy that birthday card or to buy that pair of shoes. You know, it's crazy, you know, and that's creative element coming from me saying, be creative and create that video now, you know, that kind of thing. So it doesn't have to be graphical, but again, all this creative that I'm on about is, the thing about it is you can actually download this content as well and repurpose it. So just think about that. You could, just like we're doing now with our podcast, we're going to be repurposing this. Again, we repurpose this on our YouTube channels. Eventually, I'm going to get it on as audio files as well, which is probably going to be on iTunes or something like that. So, because people can listen to this rather than just watching. You know, that is the beauty of what we're giving out, this value, this content. You can actually listen over and over again. And you don't have to watch what, you know, how we're looking and what we're doing. You know, you can actually just listen. So that's what, you know, the next step is as well for us to get that on there. But so be more creative. At the end of the day, be more creative, guys. Get things going for your brand, for your business, for your page, for all the social media platforms you're on. But, you know, obviously remember, focus on, you know, one at a time, get those right, get the creatives right. And just, you know, just keep testing, you know, keep being a practitioner at what you do. If you've got any questions ever, me and Dan are always here. You know, we're kind of a 24-hour agency right now because Dan's in Australia, I'm in UK. So one of us is always awake. So it's like 24/7 agency if you want, Dan. But, you know, we're always there, aren't we? We're always on it. So, you know,
that's how it should be. That's how it should be in 2017. You know, we've got all these tools that we're talking about. We've got this mobile phone, which is amazing, but we can do this, you know, stream across the entire world live. Just amazing, you know, coming from, you know, I'm 28, so I've kind of grown up with this kind of stuff. Not when I was younger, but kind of in my mid 20s. I know you're a bit older than me, so like for you, it's a bit further on, but it's just amazing. Like, use it to your best capabilities. I think one thing that I always struggle with, in terms of like thinking of blog posts and creative campaigns and all this kind of thing, is having that first step, which is the brainstorm step. And if you don't come from a creative background, that's sometimes something like A, gets missed, or B, you're just not aware of it. And I think I just love getting people in a room and let's get his ideas together, because guess what? We've all got little pockets of ideas. You bring them all together. You make the sum of its parts even better and even stronger. And I'm always amazed when you come out of them kind of brainstorm sessions and you just like, wow, like because I could have thought a little bit and it could have just gone this far, but we brought it all together and the idea is now this big and it goes even further. And it's amazing when somebody might go, well, actually, that doesn't work. Or, oh, actually, we can do it in this way. It's even better. Or we can do a video like this. And you're like, yes. So I think sometimes you need to understand, I think when you're doing stuff like this, it's not just like, oh, put an image on Facebook. You know, that's not going to get all. It's going to, it's going to put you off doing anything going forward. So I think get it right. Do something really valuable. So if you're going to do a campaign, you know, really think about it, really put it out there, put time and effort into it and value into it, and you'd be amazed what you get back instead of just putting anything out there and hoping for the best. So I think sometimes having that first brainstorm session where you can bounce ideas off people, and look, right, Damion's obviously got creative ideas background and creative concept background, and I've got the process and process driven and the digital marketing kind of element of kind of what can you do, what's feasible, what can you do, and always about pushing the boundaries. So if you ever need to add that step in your digital campaigns, if you ever need to have something there that you need to bounce ideas off people or get more ideas of what you can do, from both our backgrounds, then we're here. You know, speak to us, we can discuss it, we can have calls about it.
You know what, I've got this vision, Dan, right? I've been thinking about it the last couple of days, and I've got this vision of us like doing this now, but for actually clients. So we're on the other end. So maybe they're on the other end of like Skype or something like that, but we're both it's almost like an online meeting. But I've got this big, massive whiteboard behind me, And you know, you're on about brainstorming there, and I'm literally writing this down. You know, that's the vision I've got at the minute, that you can be doing your bit that you're so good at. You know, from actually, are you still there? Because it looked like a bit broken up. But yeah, you've got your side from, you know, your experience from your clientele that you've worked for. So you can almost add that element to it, and then I've got this creative thing that I can just say, right, this is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to brainstorm, and we've got like a couple of hours session with these, you know, these clients that we want to just look after and give us all, you know, as 100% all passion, value to them. You know, that's what I see. So, you know, hopefully, eventually, that's what we can achieve. You know, going forward, and then that's our agency, that's our creative, passionate side of things, and I don't think anyone else does that. You know, we could do that across the world and just say, right, this is us. Get some time together with us, and we'll just make some magic for you, you know, for your business. So
yeah, it's all about being creative, you know, and being online that's what we all aspire to do, you know, being creative, giving out that value to your customers. You know, customers see it, and it does get in front of people. And like I say, it's just thinking of different creative ways that you can be creative, you know. Get inspiration from other people, but then like put it together and see what you can create. And even like one thing I noticed the other day on Canva, so their status on Facebook, and it was like, oh, we can create like GIFs now, and I was just like, wow, like what a way, but you can create GIFs within this free software, which I've not even tried yet, but like just again, bro, like you've got to have the brainstorm before to think about, like, you know, the purpose of the gift. Like, don't just do something for the sake of it. You know, what's the purpose? What you try to achieve with it? Is it humor? Is it entertainment? Is it education? You know, what you try to do, what's the end goal? And then think about the ways that you can do it very creatively. You know, I've seen some amazing ones. You know, really, people really thinking about it in terms of the product and stuff like that, especially like, you know, spinning the product around, or using the product in very creative ways, more than just like buy my drink. It's more like, oh, look, like you know, my drink's next to my it's an energy drink. Oh, my drink's next to you know, my gym equipment bag. You can quite clearly see it, and it's kind of like taking a stylish picture, put it on Instagram, and it's kind of like blah blah blah. So I think it's just about being creative, and, you know, having that ability that you get two people here, me and you, who have the different backgrounds, but same passion of giving out value, the same passion of trying to help people and businesses. And I think going through two different ways that will make really good kind of way to look at things and make things better. You know, and just even looking at your current campaigns, you know, I'd love to look at them and kind of say, right, well, you know, this worked or this didn't work, you know, do more of this, do less of this. You know, next time, let's take all these good elements and then put them together with other bits that we've seen online. So yeah, all these online tools that I just love it, looking at like kind of top lists of the latest tools to use, the latest apps, you know, what is out there to be creative. You know, there's so many ways to be creative in life, and I think being creative in life gets you further. So to do it online and do it for your online business, and like I say, go live. You've got a shop, right? Go live. You know,
got to do it
to a customer and say, oh, did you have a really good experience? Yeah. You know, you really looked after me. I'm really chuffed with this product. You're like, oh, do you mind, like, you know, just doing a quick testimonial? And 9 times out of 10, they're going to go, well, yeah, of course. And just say, oh, you know, I've just bought this, I loved it, blah, blah, blah. But, you know, going live is great. Obviously, Facebook, again, push it to the top. Always jump on things that Facebook are pushing. Facebook Live at the moment, video, massive, really pushing it out there.
They've also added it,
you know, because like
above, they've also added it to your day as well now. So on Facebook Day in your Messenger, now you're actually showing live up there. So I've noticed a huge difference of the amount of people that are live, bro, tonight. You know, that we've got a bit more interactive going on. I think based on them seeing that interaction from you know, me being above saying I'm live. So that's interesting, very interesting indeed. And Sharon does like a bit of live. She's awesome live as well. So people need to go check out Sharon's lives because I watched a few of hers. But yeah, it's just, I don't know if you've got time, Dan. I know you've got to get off, and I was just going to maybe go through the questions and see if I could answer. Oh, is it Saturday? What?
No,
Oh,
start the
sorry.
day.
I'll
So
start the day. Sorry, yeah.
start the
I,
day.
I thought you rushed on it in a Saturday then,
We're not
but yeah,
that.
yeah.
No, we're not that far forward. I suppose
No.
as a really good thing as well for the types of people who are looking to get ahead or start their business online. You know, it's just having that kind of thought process in terms of kind of your brand identity, what, you know, kind of corporate like logo and all that kind of stuff we talked
Mm-hmm.
about. You know, it's thinking through them. You know, what do you want it to look like? What needs to be included in it? All this kind of thing, and it's all stuff that you've done for multiple clients. You know,
Yeah.
it's all stuff that we want to be involved in day one and take you on that journey forward and get better.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of the main outcome, the real purpose of this podcast this week, episode 5, was just to show that you can be so creative online and you've got to get it right, but don't wait until perfection. Get out there, you know, get out there. You know, don't worry about, you know, the fact that you don't think it's going to be perfect. It's never going to be perfect in your head, but for other people, they never know them thoughts. So get out there, show it to people. You'll be amazed what you get back.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
yeah,
Yeah.
going through the questions, I think it's great. You know, completely appreciate everybody. Like, it's very difficult to talk and
Yeah.
share value, as well as keeping up with the comments. But really appreciate it. Keep putting comments down there.
Yeah.
Any
Because we will
questions,
get back
anything
to
that
you.
we
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
answer, we will answer.
Yeah.
Yeah, completely. Like, you know,
Because
we try as best to do so. You know, and share it and you know.
we'd
Like
rather
it and
give
all that kind
value.
of stuff.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
not
We'd
like
rather give value up front. You know, we'd rather us
yeah,
go on and give you value as much as possible while we're live. But then if we don't get through the
yeah,
questions, then we'll answer them anyway later on. You know, we will definitely get back to you in a reply comment below. So so don't worry about that. So if you got any questions, hit us below or message us anytime. You know, Danny Elson or myself, Damion Elson, you know, ask us as many questions you like, you know, based on your online presence and any marketing and stuff like that. So, you know, and you can always catch me on DamionElson.com if you need to message me on there or for any content. And again, I am Dan Elson. I think it is IamDanElson.com. So, yeah, I don't know if you want to wrap it up, Dan, because I know you've got to start your day now. Start your day.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's 7:55 in
Go for
Sydney
it.
AM. So yeah, just obviously, yeah, just to add, I suppose, yeah. Do you want to go through the questions, or should we just respond?
All right, okay.
Yeah.
It's up to you on your time, really. I don't know if you are you up for a few
Yeah, we're
or.
struggling a little bit
Oh
here.
yeah, no worries. Yeah, well, yeah. We'll answer them later on. We'll answer them later on. Let's end this podcast. Again, it's been amazing how many people have jumped in tonight. I just can't believe how many people have joined in. Like, really, really good. Really appreciate it, guys, for your time,
Yeah,
for watching us live. Because always there's a replay and there's YouTube to watch all the other episodes as well. So yeah, anytime questions, just ask. Just ask us. We're here to help. Do you want to finish with anything, Dan, and then?
yeah. I suppose what we need to do, me and you, Damion, is just when we get a second, just put like a social channels in the comments so people can find us on other platforms. You'll see on this YouTube, when we upload to YouTube, we do list all the social platforms so you can find us everywhere else online. So yeah, absolutely, you know, kind of you know, doubling up on what Damion said there, but you know, absolutely love and appreciate that everybody's, you know, finding it really interesting and valuable, and we'd love to see like places where you're using this, you know,
Results,
right on this
definitely,
wall, or send us an email, you know, just saying, oh yeah, I put this out, or I did this creative brainstorm, or I wrote down on a pad, all this kind of stuff.
definitely.
You know, really, really appreciate it, and I love to see people use the tips and value
And
and
people are already
stuff
doing
like,
it, yeah.
you know, that we use as well. It's not like we're saying we're gurus, we're experts, nothing like that.
No.
But we're just saying, look, you know, this is kind of stuff that we've learned over his years. You know, Damien's been doing this, you know, what is it, 15 years now?
Over 15 years, yeah.
Yeah, so like it's all bits that we've learned and got better at over time, and learned different processes and from other people as well, and brought it together and made it his own, which is exactly what everybody else should do. You know, I always believe in what Bruce Lee used to say is like, you know, take what's good and then add what's unique, your own. So I think it's really important to do that. So again, just, to finish on, really appreciate everybody's time. There's obviously a million different things you can look at. So, watching this, we really hope you do get value out of it and you use it. Like I said, send us stuff by email.
Yeah.
And on Facebook or whatever you want it, whatever platform you're comfortable with, send it to us and say, this is what I'm doing, this is what, because we love it. We're going to post it everywhere for you.
We'll give you a shout out. Yeah, we'll shout it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So, if you like this, yeah, absolutely. It's great. And I think, if you like this, go on his YouTube channel, watch it again and again, see what else snippets you can get out of it. As long as you get one thing out of it, then it's been, worth your 45 minutes. So,
yeah. And if you get something out of it, if you do get something out of it, share it with someone else as well, because they'll want to learn as well as much as you have. Just share it with others. But yeah, right then.
Cool.
Let's get off. All right. Cheers, Dan. Thanks so much for coming in.
Perfect.
Awesome podcast. Loved it. All right. Take care.
Hopefully your round gets better.
Oh yeah. Cheers. Speak soon. Take care. See you. Bye.
Ciao.
See you guys.